G'day everyone, David here from McDowell's Herbal, just out here at Winterwood Farm, and I thought I'd take you around and show you some of the things we're doing to get ready for spring. Okay, here we are. First stop is the compost heap. I just want to show you what we do to make our compost. This is the fresher stuff here. I'll turn around and we can have a look at it. So our compost is made from our stable scrapings, which is basically sawdust and manure and whatever urine's in there. And the other major ingredient, which you can see here, is our refuse from our pressings out at the factory, the herb pressings from the factory. So you can see some in here. We've got, by the look of it, some yarrow, some what looks like elecampane, maybe some pine bark, looks like turmeric there. That's some turmeric pressings there. So all of that goes into our compost. This is the fresher stuff, so we still need to turn this every couple of weeks. We turn it with our tractor. There's some fresher stuff that's just been dumped there. We'll have to leave this one now and start another pile up, but I'll just take you down here and show you the one that's we're currently using. So this one is now well composted, and we use this for all our gardening and potting and planting needs. This winter I've been doing some bare rooted trees. So here's some that I've potted up that I'm not ready to plant yet. So I've potted these up directly into our compost and pruned them back, and then I'll show you some a bit later that I've planted in the garden. Now, while I'm down near the compost heap, which is just there, I thought I'd show you the pond that I built last year and have been planting this year as well. So I've put a rock wall around the whole edge of it. There's a little sculpture there, and I'll turn around and show you some of the plants. So in Australia, some of you are familiar with this one, the Wallamai pine, which comes from the Wallamai National Park, which is actually probably only about 100 kilometres from here is where its natural habitat is, and that's, as you can see, I've planted that in the compost not far from the pond here, and it's going really well. Also planted a whole lot of deciduous and evergreen rhododendrons, some maples. It's got a bit of a Japanese feel, this planting here. You can see the rock wall there, and I've got a few other things to do. This is a weeping cherry in front of us here, and there's an overflow just over there where those big rocks are, and that'll be a rill that runs through this forest when I finally get around to doing it. Okay, so first thing I want to show you is what we've got here is a whole row of claret ash running up our driveway on both sides. There's quite a few hundred of them, and up the top there's a real large one that has been planted probably 20 years ago, 20 years ago. Now what's happened is they've discovered a new fungus that attacks claret ash particularly, not so much the golden ash, but particularly claret ash. And it's come from Europe and the USA. It's only been discovered in Australia in the last couple of years, and there's no registered fungicides that can treat it, so we have to try new alternative ways. Unfortunately, we're an organic farm, so I'll show you some of the things that we've got here that we're trying out on these ones to make sure they survive, and they are for sale on our website. I'll turn around and show you. Okay, the two products we're using for the claret ash fungus problem is one is a bacterial and fungal microbes, a powdered form. The idea of that is to try and outcompete the nasty fungal infection in the claret ash. The other one we're using is called the OGM, Organic Gardening Microbes. That's got around about 80 anaerobic and aerobic microbes in there, which is you use as a foliar fertiliser. You can use it as a drench, but as a foliar fertiliser when the leaf comes out. Really good for opening up the stomatal pores and allowing the other active ingredients to get in with the, and you can use it with a fertiliser as well, so really good with the foliar fertiliser. So those two things we're trialling, they're available on the website as well. We'll give you an update later in the season and see how they're going. Right, next stop is the cherry orchard. The big problem with cherries, and our orchard here is about 20 trees. The big problem is you have cherry slug or pear slug. They attack, the same thing attacks both trees. As soon as leaves start to come out, they get attacked. They overwinter under the soil and they start crawling up the stems and eating the leaves as soon as they come out. They're actually not a slug, they're not a mollusk at all, but a sawfly. So they're about to become very active here, and we need to start spraying them very soon. So what we use is an organic product which we sell as well called Eco Neem. Comes from a tree, an Indian tree and a Zeterac tree, similar to Australia's Melia zeterax, which is the white cedar. Very safe to use, very good for sap sucking or leaf eating insects, but you've got to spray them regularly. Very safe to use, but spray regularly and it'll keep the cherry slug away. Okay, next stop is the other orchard. Right, we're here in the orchard, and the two things I want to talk about here are leaf curl. So a lot of the peaches, cherries or the stones get really bad leaf curl, and the best way to treat that is an old-fashioned Bordeaux mix, which you can make up yourself. Copper sulphate, half copper sulphate and lime, mix it in water, spray that on. It's got to be at bud burst, so basically now we're in Australia here, we're getting a couple of weeks away from spring, so the buds are starting to swell up. You've got to spray now to prevent the leaf curl from starting, and then regularly through the season. Now here's also some of the trees that I was talking about, bare rooted trees that we planted this season. So I've pruned these back. This is a nectarine, and basically I just use the compost that we manufacture ourselves. Nothing else goes in there. Prune them back. They've got to be pruned back about 2/3 from when you buy them, so they get a good chance to shoot away. And the other thing you want to talk about is controlling things like aphids, lacebug, scale, mites, those sort of things in the orchard. So what I use is an eco oil, so that's one we sell there on the website. It's registered for organic use, certified input, so you can use that. Like most organic herbicides and insecticides, miticides, fungicides, they're not systemic, so you just, which is a good thing. That means they're safe, that means you have to use them regularly. And fertilising is the other thing you want to be doing at this time of the year as well. I use a liquid fertiliser generally when the leaf comes out. And I like to use this one here, which is, I'm just trying to hold up there, which is a combo fertiliser of kelp and fish emulsion, as well as some other minerals. Really good for fruit trees because it increases the sugar levels in the fruit, really. So tastes beautiful, makes the fruit very nice, and grow healthy plants and dogs sometimes as well. Okay, we'll have a look at the what we're doing with the veggie garden now. Just wanted to show you our couple of rhubarb plants that I planted last winter as root cuttings, small root cuttings, planted straight into our compost that we make, and they have absolutely power. They're going to be yielding a lot of rhubarb this spring and summer. Right, last stop, we're in the veggie garden. This is the summer veggie garden, so it hasn't had anything in it over winter. Basically I've just let it go fallow since last summer. It's overwintered, and now I'm going to spray it out with some organic herbicide. It's a no dig garden, so the compost that I showed you earlier, we're going to use that in here, and we'll plant directly into that once we start killing. So it won't kill all the weeds, it'll just knock down the weeds so we've got a chance to get the other crops in. The one we use is called Slasher, which we sell on our website. It's made from a fatty acid which breaks down and burns the leaves of weeds. So and it's a knockdown, non-residual. You can see that there. So we'll do a further update once we're further into the season. Speak to you then. Bye.